Hello and welcome to Mr. Castle's room where I talk shit.
Welcome viewers. I thought today that I would give you an update in regards to the Gpsr regulations. A lot of people keep on asking me, what is Gpsr and how does it affect me being the GB, being in the EU, being in Ireland, being in Spain, being in Northern Ireland. So I'm going to cut this down to really brass tacks. I'm going to butt it down right down to a small amount of information. So before we start, I'm wearing my Donald Trump tie. This actually comes from Trump Tower. So I'm wearing this because of the presidential election today. I'm not really going to tell you who I'm gunning for, but anyway, never mind. I like chaos, so chaos is cool for me. Anyway, moving forward, I'm going to get Ruim to ask the questions and I'm going to give the answers out of my head live, hopefully with no edits. So let Ruim start.
What is Gpsr?
So Gpsr is a safety recall practice. Basically, it's a new document that overrides CE approval from 2001. This Gpsr regulation will come in throughout the European Union on December the 13th, and it affects both the EU and Northern Ireland. This Gpsr is just a safety system which allows us to find out the traceability of products that are coming in from China and also products that are being manufactured throughout the UK or throughout European Union.
Who will it affect in the EU?
So it will affect everyone in the European Union. So from Germany to France, if you are manufacturing, you have to now apply new regulations, very stringent regulations, where on your product or your anything you have when you manufacture, you must have a European Union point of contact. You must have documentation that if I, as a seller, decide to sell it again through the European Union, I can grab onto that information very quickly and I can list or sell that product with the documentation no matter how old it is.
Who will it affect it mostly?
It will affect European Union quite harshly. There's a lot of documentation required. It's quite heavy. It's quite arduous, laborious, and it is for good. There is a safety scenario, so there's a positive and a negative part of it. The positive is people are safer. The negative is that the documentation for the role is quite long-winded. It has extended how you list and how you merchandise your products, and it's going to be quite laborious for small companies who do not have that documentation around.
So what does it mean for selling to EU and NI?
Right, so selling to the European Union, you must provide all documentation for products that are used or new. And when you are providing that products, the new stuff will most likely come with the manufacturer's points. You'll have it all written in one little docu file on the back of a product marked on the box. Great work, easy job, but it's not rolled out yet. With used items, it means that for the European Union, everyone in the Europe will have to sell their products and they have to provide that documentation, which means them having to upload that. However, this is where the caveat comes in. Because the European Union are doing it, I've already heard that there are people in Germany, there are companies in France, that because of the sheer scale of the work that's involved, companies are starting to profiteer from this environment. So what they've done is they've managed to shortcut the procedures and make it easier for themselves. That's because there's a scale of economy. If Germany as a country as a whole have to do it, then there's going to be providers of that solution that's required for them. However, the little poor child of Europe, which we're not a part of Europe, but we are, but we're not, but we are. I feel like it's Little Britain here. We are a part of the Windsor framework. So Northern Ireland has to provide the documentation too. However, it's not in German. It's not in French. It's not in Spanish. It's not in Italian. It's in English. And there are no English European Union companies that are offering this EU rep for an English company or an English speaking company. Now, how does this affect it? Northern Ireland does not have a company that have said, right, we can profiteer from this, from our 3,000 sellers or 5,000 sellers or whatever it is selling online on digital platforms. And we are going to provide a resolution to that. So that means that Northern Ireland will miss out on the shortcut of doing this. And therefore, you'll find that GB, and this is where we'll talk about the affected thing, GB has been already given switches by Amazon, eBay, OnBuy, where they can turn off Northern Ireland and Northern Ireland will no longer get products sold by GB because they don't have to provide the documentation like Germany do, like France do, like Italy or Italy does, or Holland. They all have to provide documents around European Union, which is great because they're all doing it, and that's great. But the problem is Northern Ireland is a part of the United Kingdom, and the rest of the United Kingdom have been told, well, if you don't want to upload the documentation, just click Northern Ireland off, end of story, lose the sales. Which means that Northern Ireland are greatly affected because no business in Northern Ireland will be able to purchase stuff from GB, albeit you'll be able to buy from Ireland. But the problem is you got issues at the minute with that issue with Northern, or buying from Ireland or buying from France. You have to deal with customs issues, and that's a concern because you cannot buy from this alleged soft border. I've tried, and it's not easy. So the one who is mostly affected is Northern Ireland. Cut to that.
So how much documentation is needed?
The documentation that's needed for everybody is this. You must provide a European Union representative. You must provide a manufacturer address and contact details of the manufacturer. You must also provide a data sheet that includes all CE approvals and all registration marks, including should anything go wrong, and a full compliant instruction manual on how to use a product. That includes products from China, from the United Kingdom, or from European Union itself, or America, or Brazil, whatever it is. If you wish to sell to the European Union, you must provide them levels of documentation.
What does this ultimately mean for Northern Ireland?
So Northern Ireland currently has already seen the effects of this. This is November the 5th. This is election day for the American presidents. And the situation is this. Northern Ireland has already seen a dramatic decrease in purchase ability from eBay. eBay has been the worst offender in this problem, whereas Amazon have tried to continuously push Gpsr regulations for certain products. They've excluded a lot of it, whereas eBay have given everyone a blank canvas and said, look, you don't have to fill this in if you live in GB. If you live in England, Scotland and Wales, just turn off Northern Ireland and you're dead, you're fab, you're no problem. So Northern Ireland has been massively affected when I'm getting thousands of reports. You know who you are. Thank you very much for the comments. Keep commenting. But remember, as you comment, please like and subscribe, because the amount of comments I'm getting and the amount of subscribers I have, if I had that, I would have 10,000 subscribers today. So please, if you're going to leave a comment, you're going to ask me to reply, please subscribe. Moving on.
Why is the NI involved since we are in the UK?
Right, so the Northern Ireland issue is we are part of the framework of the Windsor Framework, which meant that we have a soft border between England, Scotland and Wales and Ireland and the European Union. As much as Mr. Bojo did this and agreed on this absolutely horrific thing, it was agreed in such a shambolic experience that myself as a trader, since Brexit, I have never been able to buy stock from Ireland. It's been closed. I have tried continuously to bring stock in from UK into Ireland, and immediately they put a hard border on. Even though you try and provide documentation that you are from Northern Ireland, there should be a soft border. They say that you're best bringing it in from Stranraer, from into Larne or into Belfast from the UK as a whole, because you get hassle. So Northern Ireland is a part of the Windsor Framework, which has allowed us to trade European Union, and therefore we must apply by the obligatory rules of the European Union as well as the United Kingdom. We're kind of a dark grey area for both countries or both states.
Is the Great Britain going to stop selling to Northern Ireland?
Already, Great Britain has stopped selling to Northern Irish customers. We are getting so many people complaining that their stock is not available, or they cannot sell or will not post to Northern Ireland. This is getting greater and constantly getting greater up to December 13th. This is why I'm complaining, guys. I've already seen it. I can't even get sellotape from England. And this is the problem that we're getting. My company is going to have to buy from Ireland and go down, journey down to Dublin to pick up stuff and drive it back up again. Because if I do it through post, it may not arrive. So this is the problem we're having here, guys. This is going to affect Northern Ireland massively. Everyone needs to pick up and listen and complain.
What are the online platform points to control Gpsr?
So the online platforms are doing what they can. Certain of them are doing much more than others. So what I found with Amazon have started providing solutions, not problems. Amazon have allowed the customer to beep in the EAN, and it's probably already pre-filled with that EAN by the manufacturer. It's really good, actually. We've seen a lot of ease of use, and it's been a bit seamless. I think I've had about 12 reports of Gpsr requests, which we've had to infill. But if you're not the manufacturer, you can't do it with Amazon. eBay are different. eBay have just basically left this big blank saying Gpsr conditions, and they've asked us to pre-fill that stuff in. What they're going to do with the data, I don't know. All I can say to you is this, that eBay have not given any software, any verbal solution, nor have they offered any help whatsoever in regards to the questions or providing answers to this. They've given a legal framework document, that's it. So eBay have been the really terrible partner in this, this regulation being rolled out.
What's your personal concerns for Gpsr on Northern Ireland?
My personal concerns is this, and I've said this continuously, and I will continue to say this, and I appreciate to every listener that's involved here. But my concern is that Northern Ireland will take a slap. If, say for example, I have no choice but to turn off Northern Ireland just to continue running my business, I will have to do that. That's a loss of about £60,000 of my income. If every seller has to do that, that's less income going into Northern Ireland. That's less income in regards to employability. I'm paying 10% less staff. I have to move my staff because I don't intend to dismiss them. I don't intend to make them redundant. I intend to move 10% of my staff onto other businesses that do not have Gpsr regulations. Now, I'm aware that the British standards are also coming out and the UK will have to fall in line, but it's not until maybe next year or possibly the year after. But I'm finding that this concern to me is that I will not be able to sell to my own countrymen. And no one here in Northern Ireland seems to care. I have one MLA that's really looking to have a communication with me on this. And this is the reason why we're doing this. So this is the end of the conversation. I am concerned, but I ask everyone, once again, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please keep the comments going and please support my channel because this offering is for free. The cost that I have endowed to make sure that I'm informed is expensive. And I ask that that subscription will keep us and our patrons secure. Thank you very much, guys.